Or you can say what the characters are doing, and Rothfuss will say unique things, like they'll be whatever playing with like the beer that spilled onto their table,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll have unique things like Denna has unique characteristics like her ears or certain things she'll do with her hair that are very much Denna, and so you can actually associate her emotions with those unique characteristics while learning more about her, while experiencing the story in a realistic, absorbing way, and not feeling like you're reading anything cliche or
Yeah.
trite. Um,
Yeah, and I think how you can come by a lot of these details, you gave the example of like, playing with the, whatever, the ring of condensation that
yeah,
your cup left on the table.
yeah,
A lot of times if you're sitting at your computer, like, okay, like, write this uniquely, it can be hard to think of, like, because your mind automatically just goes to all the things you've read before, which are usually just cliche and you don't want to write them. But if you, I think, watch people in real life, if you go out and you watch the way
yeah,
people act, like, you'll start to see all these idiosyncrasies of
yes,
things that they do and characteristics about this. I mean, this can apply also to what you were saying about physical description, like the eyes, the face. You know, a lot of authors are talking about, oh, like she had, deep blue eyes and blah blah blah, and that can be cool sometimes, but a lot of times, and I used to do this when I was younger as well. I'm like, okay, I want to give my readers a picture of this character. And so I would always launch into, like, every time you met a character, I would like have a paragraph just
right,
describing their physical, like a slender nose and pencil thin eyebrows and high cheekbones, like, and then you realize, like, if you read this in somebody else's book, within, like, the next 3 or 4 pages, like, you have no memory of what the character looks like because you really don't care.
yeah,
You don't care what they look like. You care about who they are, how they act. And so, the same sort of thing you were saying about eliminating just like boring speech tags and, putting in something, either putting in nothing or putting in something more unique, can apply to physical description as well. Like who cares what their eyebrows are like?
yeah,
Like, maybe if it's a movie, you care a bit more what they look like. But if it's a book, like, no one is like, yeah, I always remember Aragorn's eyebrows,
yeah.
are so,
At
like,
least know what I
whatever.
know.
And
I feel like I have heard people talk about like the physical descriptions,
I
like
mean,
valuing them, but
I think, if I'm not saying don't do them,
I don't
but
think
if you can
I
do
don't.
them,
Yeah, I don't think you should
do
do
them
them.
uniquely. Like,
Yeah,
I've started trying
or
to eliminate, like, oh, he had shoulder length, wavy hair, blah,
yeah, or
unless.
just like over time. Like characters
Yeah,
take shape
exactly.
over time.
That's one thing. Over time, mention, um, you know, little characteristics about him, because you do want, your readers probably want to know what color their hair is eventually, or,
Yeah,
because they like to have an image in their mind. But when they first meet them, dumping a paragraph on them of like, this is his description,
yeah,
isn't the most effective. Maybe if they have something unique about them, just mention that. Like, if they have, like, a hunchback or something, mention that, obviously, because that's going to stick in the
yeah,
reader's mind then, if like, oh yeah, this is the character with that. Or if, if they have like a prominent streak of gray in their hair, and maybe it's unique because they're only like 25 years old, and that's interesting. The
yeah,
reader's like, okay, that's a curious little fact, and that's good.
yeah.
Boom! I hope you like this excerpt from the Jesse Tate podcast. Click through to see the rest of this episode or go to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks.